Ken Trahan with Lenny Vangilder. It's our First NBC Bank weekend preview brought to you by First NBC Bank with 35 locations throughout Southeast Louisiana and into the Florida Panhandle. That's First NBC Bank, proud sponsor of SportsNOLA.com. Busy weekend for college baseball and a profitable week thus far. LSU went to Notre Dame and won 2 against an ACC team, which is very good. Tulane, of course, a very good win over UNO. UNO, not a good win over Tulane, but still playing well. Louisiana Tech playing well. McNeese State in the hunt, ULL there. Hey, and Southeastern, of course, coming off of a big sweep over Lamar. So, again, these are really good times for college baseball. And as detailed in our story at SportsNOLA.com, we got as many as 5 or 6 teams that have a real shot at reaching the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, 4 with real large possibilities. Louisiana Tech would probably be on the fringe of that right now, although I really think they're more on the outside looking in. But you got conference tournaments a couple of weeks down the road, and you're positioning yourself for the best seeding you can get, or in some cases trying to get in the conference tournament, especially in a league like the Southland where UNO Southeastern and Nichols call home. That's been a proverbial crapshoot every year. I mean, the 8 seed could win the tournament. It's just a matter of getting in, and then you play well for 3 or 4 days, and you find yourself in the NCAA tournament. So, what's the interesting story in all of this in my mind is what's going to happen with Tulane. Yeah, they're sitting there at 23 in the RPI, leading the American Athletic Conference. They've got Memphis at home this weekend. A strong finish. Could they be playing their way into a host? I mean, that's
possibly.
That's not out of the question. But what's gonna be troublesome for them is you look at the big picture. The SEC and the ACC have 14 of the top 16 teams in the RPI right now. Now, the RPI is not the be-all, end-all, but you've got to be somewhat geographically diverse in this thing. And you're going to probably have 5 or 6 regionals go to schools outside of those 2 leagues, if not more. Do you leave the geographic footprint of that area to get them in other places, or do you just reward the best teams? That's the dilemma that the committee's going to face in a couple of weeks when they're trying to make these decisions. Again, Tulane's got to do their job. The other big series, of course, you alluded to, Southeastern and UNO this weekend. Friday and Sunday in Hammond, Saturday on the lakefront.
Yep, split series. Look forward to that. The Zephyrs homestand started with Colorado Springs, daytime game, and obviously it continues on. And again, up and down. Started poorly, came on strong. Now they're slumping again. It's kind of been back and forth.
Well, here's the thing. When you play in this ballpark, which allows fewer runs and fewer home runs than any other ballpark in the PCL, you go on the road, you got to play almost a different style of baseball than what you play at home. Ironically, Colorado Springs hit 3 home runs on Wednesday to beat the Zephyrs, but the Tuesday night game, the opening game of the series, was a 1-0 game. How many times have we seen 1-0 games in that ballpark? It happens all the time. It just plays huge, even though they brought the fences in. So, you'd like to say, it's a different style of play, and there's not a lot of margin for error with your pitching as a result of that.
No question. High school baseball, of course, the state championships going on in Sulphur this weekend. 2A is the focus for the New Orleans area with 3 teams. Out of the 4 that are there, St. Thomas Aquinas, the number 1 seed, taking on Opelousas Catholic. Read a preview at SportsNOLA.com. And, of course, the preview on the district rematch between 2nd seed St. Charles Catholic and 6th seed Riverside taking place as well. Winners, of course, will square off for the championship Saturday at 3 p.m.
We saw one of those meetings as part of the First NBC Bank Prep Showcase. In fact, I heard earlier this week on WHNO Prep Replay in case you missed it. But when these teams have gotten together this year, talking about Riverside and St. Charles Catholic, they've been really good games. A couple of last at-bat wins in the district play. They're coming off 2 games where each won in their last at-bat. Riverside on a walk-off homer, St. Charles Catholic coming back from a 3-0 deficit to force extra innings and then winning in the 8th. So anything less than drama would probably be a disappointment in this game.
I think that's accurate. I think that's what we're looking at. On the Saints front, Drew Brees, no rush to a contract. His agent says he's perfectly fine with where they're at. Does that surprise you at all?
I guess, but at the same time, they know they're going to have to get a deal done. And I guess if you can, manage the $30 million number under the cap this year, that's fine. If you let it play out another year, are you in essence, rolling the dice that if he doesn't have a good year, that maybe you can sign him at a discount next year, as opposed to now, coming off even though the team didn't have a great year, he had a solid year statistically. The interception number was as low as it's been in quite a while. So yeah, you can see both sides of it. You'd like to maybe give yourself some cap relief to be able to do something if you need to, but yet at the same time, you're also locking yourself in to a guy for 3 or 4 more years, and maybe you're giving yourself the ability to gain some cap relief down the road by not doing something.
Finally, on the Pelicans front, no news at this point. I suspect the longer this goes, the more likely Dell Demps will be back, but I don't know that, and neither does anyone else apparently.
Well, this is the NBA where it's not like there's a Black Monday like in the NFL where all of these moves suddenly happen and then you go on and you hire your people. I mean, got moves as Thursday morning. Scott Skiles suddenly resigns in Orlando. Now you got another job open. So, what's going to happen? Again, it's not a set time frame. Something could still possibly happen, though. I agree with you. The further and further you get removed from the end of the season, it seems less and less likely.
That's our First NBC Bank weekend preview, brought to you by First NBC Bank with 35 locations throughout the New Orleans area and beyond. That's First NBC Bank, proud sponsor of SportsNOLA.com. Have a great weekend.
All right, we'll see you Monday on the golf course.
Saints Hall of Fame Celebrity Golf Classic. We'll be there. Until then, thank you. Have a great weekend, and God bless.